You're now watching Showbiz Now, your daily showbiz update. Narito na naman muli ang naging pasabog ni Maggie Wilson sa di umano ay naging allegation statements ni Victor Consigi at Rachel Carrasco sa kanya. Mula sa kanya mga tanong, ayon kay Maggie, unlike others, this is not a statement. Instead, I encourage you to read the other party's recent statements published today, February 10, 2023, prior to asking yourself the following questions. To protect my children, my unborn daughter, would you release statements as such to divert attention, or is this an indirect admission? If a person claims that they are amicable on the face of it but behind the scenes is doing everything they can to hurt you, is that the real meaning of amicable? Well, ano nga po ba ang meaning ng amicable na sinasabi nitong si Maggie Wilson? Sabi ni Google, amicable, of relationships between people, having a spirit of friendliness without serious disagreement or rancor. Patuloy nga ng nasabing mga question, would you feel safe living with a person who owns multiple firearms where threats have been made for those firearms to be used? Would you feel more secure in countries where government officials have acknowledged your unfair and unjust treatment and assured you that you would be safer and protected in theirs? Suppose there is an existing prenuptial agreement despite the civil registrar's office issuing a certificate of no prenuptial agreement. Wouldn't you sign the paperwork to be annulled as quickly as possible from a spouse with such abhorrent behavior? If two women knew too much about your bad practice, would you keep them away from each other and launch multiple cases to put them behind bars in a bid to keep them silent? Would you have access to fair trial when a warrant is issued against you without prior notice that a case has been filed? Would you think you had equitable access to justice? Suppose you had never received any legal action or complaints for swindled investments or uncovered funds from anyone in your life except a person that wants to taint your reputation and witness that a month prior made the same allegations against someone that attempted to cut ties with him and his company. Would you see any truth in this, or is it just a coincidence? Would you be angry if a court granted temporary restraining orders against yourself, a company, and others because you illegally entered a property with a valid lease contract? If you are one of the multiple residents without a land title or DOAS for their property that has paid in full and witnessed what someone else went through in the same developments, would you be scared to lose your family home? If your family had a built, hugely successful business and you felt entitled to it and its resources, would you accept anyone who says no? Suppose you were a young boy that has seen multiple women coming through your house and new baby items being gifted without proper communications from a father figure. Wouldn't you feel sad, scared, alone, and abandoned if you were not allowed to speak to or see your mother? Do you believe women have equal rights in a country where only men can file adultery charges with the basil and probably cause being Instagram posts or the complainant's own employees' alleged sightings? Would you feel puzzled after giving unconditional love for many years to a person who had multiple affairs, forgiving them, and then alleging you committed adultery to deflect their own shortcomings? What do you say to a husband who's crying on your shoulder and has supported his wife financially and emotionally while she meets up with your husband in other jurisdictions to ensure their privacy for her own personal gain? When do you walk out the door to someone you love so much and say enough is enough? Isn't it strange that complainants have published a statement but have deliberately failed to mention that they have received full cooperation from the defendant legal team and that the purported cases are at the submission stage for redetermination by the Department of Justice? Do we live in a country where you are innocent until proven guilty, or are you guilty before proven innocent? Finally, now a question for me: if you had a platform, the resources, and the support to fight for women and children and raise awareness in the Philippines and across the world, would you feel that it's your duty to fight and be a voice for thousands of people who are going through the same thing, if not worse, even in the face of death, for a country you love where they are looked down upon for being so backwards? The answer is I do and I will. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the crookedness of the treacherous destroy them. No legacy is so rich as honesty. Maggie Wilson. Naman natin kung ano ang naging say ng mga anonymous commentator mula sa Fashion Police. Sabi nila, iba din itong si V, or I think they are referring to Victor. Nakaimbento ng kaso, unrecovered funds, swindled investment, ni walang nare-receive pala ng complaint si Maggie about that. We already know who is lying. Sabi po niya, except, meaning there is a case. Kaisasahan o kaisa-isahan. Siyempre, bakit siya aamin? Sino naman ang isang netizen? Ang isa naman ay sinabing, die. If you are in hiding, hindi mo talaga ma-receive ang complaint. But it doesn't mean no case is filed against you. Gustuhin ko man isa-isahin how cases proceed, pero nakakatamad. Aral ka na lang siguro. Hindi naman ang isa, more kuda, more fun. Uwi ka na girl if you're sane. Sana iniisip mo yung anak mo muna before kumuda. Keep your dirty laundry private. If you are Maggie, uwi ka ba? Knowing our justice system sa Pinas, I don't think so. Madali lang sabihin kasi wala ka sa posisyon niya. Pagtatanggol naman ng ilang netizen kay Maggie. Say naman ng isa, manahimik ka na lang kasi, akla, eto ka na naman, kaya ka nawawarrant arrest. Say ng isang netizen pa, Maggie's response answers the questions that many of Victor's fans has been mentioning, that V could have a child before marrying Maggie. That's why he says my children. The answer is no, he didn't have a child prior to Connor. So V has baby items arriving at his house. V and R are really flaunting it. Basahin mo uli, assumption mo lang na walang anak si V na mas matanda sa anak. Ipa ng isang netizen, desperate times call for desperate measures. Mawawala na ng laban ng isang party when the stork arrives. Basahin mo uli, ang sinabi niya ay may reference na sinasabi si Maggie tungkol sa unborn daughter niya. Hindi sinabi ni Rachel na meron na siyang unborn daughter. In short, sinabi niya lang ang sinabi na ni Maggie. Laban na laban si ate mo at malapit na siyang bumalik sa pinanggalingan niya, and soon, hindi na ma-maintain ang ginawa niyang lifestyle when he married V. May karma din niyang kay V and R, biniligtad pa nila at sila pa sa lagay na yan, yung agrabyado. Ha ha ha. Anyway, narito pa ang naging komento ng mga netizen. Sabi nila, Team Maggie all the way, my heart goes out to Connor. I hope one day when he is old enough, he would go and see his mother himself. Dirty laundry in public. Oh, so wala palang record ng prenup. Kaya hindi niya mapirmahan ang annulment kasi makikinabang si wifey. Kaya parang blackmail itong strategy niya to make her agree and comply sa kanyang terms and conditions, or else wala siyang katahimikan. Feel ko itong si Guy, sinusuyo niya si Maggie bumalik sa kanya para mag-stop na siya, tapos si Maggie nagpapabebe. Yan naman ang say ng isang netizen. Well, yan ang ating showbiz love update. Ano naman masisay nyo about dito? Ilagay na ang inyong opinion sa ating comment section. Images are all credit to the rightful owners, and thank you for watching Showbiz Snob.